Hi, Charlie Cushane here. Chip and I just finished our first wood turning project, and it's this spectacular New England Patriots Dynasty Bowl. And if you want to see how we made it, watch this video. How you doing? Charlie Cushane here. As you may know, I'm a big New England Patriots fan. And to commemorate them getting into the playoffs again and going to the AFC Championship game, I'm going to start on a Super Bowl bowl. My first real wood turning, and I'm going to make it out of leftover wood. So I'm going to start by picking a bunch of pieces out and then starting to make this commemorative party bowl. How you doing? It's Chip and Charlie here. We're going to start working on planing down this wood. And I picked out cherry and maple to start making 6 bowls that'll form the perimeter. I gotta plane them down, and Chip's gonna
Let's talk more work.
The planer makes quick work of smoothing down the boards, but it sure does fill up Chip quickly. Okay, Chip, you look like you're a little full.
I got a tummy ache.
Oh my God, Chip, you eat too much.
That would really taste so.
Full to the brim. Oh yeah, you're gonna go on a diet. Now the fun part, to glue up the wood.
Can I help glue the boards?
No, you can't help. You just stay over there and get ready to vacuum. Alright. These pieces of wood we're gluing up now will form the bowl blanks that will turn the bowls out of, that will hold all the snacks. Here we're cutting 6 bowl blanks from this one long glued up piece of wood. Each bowl blank gets a hole drilled in it to fit onto the lathe chuck, and the outer diameter trimmed down to make it easier to turn on the lathe. Here I'm turning my first bowl support all by eye. Just trial and error until I can assure it fits each ceramic bowl perfectly. Okay, yesterday I came up with a solution to hold these nice bone giant rolls onto my Lazy Susan by making an adapter. You see, it's a nice wood-turned adapter. And this bowl fits right in there, nice and snug. Now the question is, I need to make 6 of these. And there's contours on it, as you can see. See the shape, contour there, and then the inside has a shape that fits the bowls, these ceramic bowls. They have to fit this shape. So how do you make 6 of them if you don't have any copying device? Well, the only way I know is you make a template. as you see here. As you see, there's two pieces of wood sticking up, odd-shaped wood. That's so when you're doing the outside, I'll just put this on my turning, and you put it down like that. As you see it, it's perfect. And that tells you that the outside's all right. And then when you want to do the inside, you turn it around this way, and you put it on, and that fits just right. So you see it fits perfect in there. So that's for the inside, and this is for the outside profile. So now as I'm turning, I will be able to check the inside and outside so that they all look the same. And hopefully, they all fit the same perfect.
Here I'm turning the other 5 bowl supports, and I'm constantly stopping and checking with my template to make sure everything is coming out right and the size is perfect. Here I've glued up some boards that will now be formed into a round base that will support the whole Lazy Susan and the bowl.
Okay, I don't think I've shown you this plan before. This is a rough outline of what I'm going to make here. The piece we have chucked up in the lathe right this minute is this base piece that holds the Lazy Susan. And then there'll be a piece on top of it that goes here and holds the bowls, and it'll allow it to spin. So I'm now turning this top section on the lathe. And that's the piece I glued up. And there it is on the lathe.
This is by far the largest diameter piece I've ever turned on a lathe, and it makes me go very slow and careful and not try to rush it.
Hey Chip, what are you doing? Get over here and clean this mess. Well, there's chips everywhere. Get over here and do your job. Come on.
Nag, nag, nag.
Hey Chip, get to work.
Here I'm turning the front face, which will accept the Lazy Susan.
There we go. That fits right in there.
Here I'm turning the bottom recessed area of the bottom mounting plate.
When it's sitting on the table, it'll only hit here and here, nowhere in the middle here. So it'll stay nice and flat.
That's right, for those of you that are wondering, I wear full protection. I get a face shield, ear muffs, and a dust mask. It allows me to turn without any dust in my lungs. So, ready to go.
Good morning, friends. Well, today I get to do something kind of unique. I actually get to turn the inside of a football out of this big 5 3/4 inch square block of glued up wood. And it will be the inside of this football. So it'll keep this rigid once I get it on my display. So I gotta start turning this morning. Cheers.
Here, as I'm turning the football shape, I actually measured and did a little recess in 3 sections, so I know exactly how far to take down the shape of the football. It's not as deep in the middle, and the 2 outer grooves are a little bit deeper, and then I just shape it into the football shape toward the edge. A final sand of the football shape, and we should be good for a test inside the old pigskin.
Okay, now to mark the end of the ball. That's got a hole in it to fit this shaft. Now I do have to split this half down the middle. Don't want to split it too much. Aha! Here we go. Now I'll just have to doctor up this seam. But it looks like the football shape is perfect. All right, now what I'm working on is the support piece for the 6 bowls that go on top of the Lazy Susan. So instead of just making a big board and cutting out like spokes on it, I'm going to make 6 individual spokes, cut on the angle and put together, and then the bowl will sit here, and then I'll shape this afterwards. So that's what I'm making right now. Okay, now the critical part, the gluing it together. There we go. Beautiful, that should as flat as I can get it. Now we'll put some weight on there. It's a nice flat board. There we go. That should weight it down.
After a little rough sanding, I'm ready to start laying out where I need to cut. Time to cut out this entire scrolly piece on the bandsaw. Lots of sanding was needed to get the shape exactly the way I wanted it. Here I'm attaching round spacers that will accurately locate each of the bowl supports and make it perfectly concentric. Here I'm attaching a bowl support with a lot of glue around each of those spacers so that they're all mounted securely.
Time to polyurethane.
Before adding the polyurethane, I painstakingly sanded with sanding sealer all the pieces, and then I'm applying 2 coats of this polyurethane semi-gloss to each part, which took multiple days.
Okay, we have the 6 China bowls, and I want to help hold them down magnetically. And the way I'm going to do that is take some washers, you see here, and put them right in here. And the way to do that is epoxy it down. So, I got some Gorilla 2-part epoxy, and I got to mix them up. Okay, now it's time to put some magnets on this bowl. Here they are. They're big magnets. A big screw. There we go, there's one. And then this bowl, as you remember, I glued on a washer. There we go. That sits in there nice. The next thing to do is put the Lazy Susan on. First, I mount it to here, then I flip it over and attach the hole to the other piece. So, this is how it goes. Okay, now to attach the Lazy Susan to this. Carefully flip this over. Take this with the Lazy Susan on it. You line up those holes with the other holes. Now carefully
Luckily, all the holes I pre-drilled a long time ago actually all lined up perfect.
Okay, I'm threading this in. And I put wax on the threads. It's an old trick to help it thread into hardwood.
This is one of those specialty bolts that has wood threads on one side and an actual 5/16 18 thread on the
That'll
other.
be the hold down. Okay, with that way, I take the bowl, turn it over,
There we go. As you can see, that stud does not hit the bottom surface, it's under. Next, I would put it on this 3-inch washer, stainless, this, and then one last piece that I made a nice thumb screw. There we go. And that's all underneath. You can see, nothing hits. And flip it over. And there we go. Beautiful. Okay, now to glue this stuff on. This is actually a collector set of lapel pins that I bought, and I'm super gluing them into some specially formed holes to hold them in place around this perimeter. Here I'm carefully adding wood glue to the inside of this support so that I can continue the assembly. Next thing that goes on there is the bottom of the football. Now that the football's all attached securely, I'm adding the helmet support, and that will go on the top of the football on the same 1-inch diameter wooden pin I turned. Here's a good look at the final assembly with the China bowls on the Lazy Susan to the football all the way up to the helmet. The Patriots football came out spectacular, but I was a little nervous when I had to cut it open, take the bladder out, and refill it with a wooden football. It was a lot of fun. Believe it or not, there was actually 12 very specific turnings that had to be done on the lathe, and they all came out spectacular. The 5 lapel pins that represent each Super Bowl win are one of my favorite parts that really show the depth of this dynasty. So, after 2 months of working on this project, the New England Patriots Dynasty Bowl, I finally finished it today. And there's a lot of features that took some time. One of the things I wanted to do is, this is a snack bowl where you can put snacks in. And I was going to turn the full bowl out of wood, but then I got to worry about finishing and washing and handling and food, and so I actually bought some bone china bowls And these are held in with a magnet, as you can see. And it works out great. So now you can wash the bowl and put it right back on. Each one is the same and rotates on this Lazy Susan. So when we're having a party and you have snacks in here, you can easily rotate it and take whatever you want. Now, what makes this more unique is it's a tribute to the Patriots and their dynasty and winning 5 Super Bowls. And around the perimeter you see here are 5 medallions from each of their Super Bowls they won. Each one has the Super Bowl number, the date, the score, and the 2 teams that played. So that's a tribute. In the middle here is a actual football, smaller football, but it's leather. It's a Patriots football, and I had to cut it open, take the bladder out, make a football out of wood, and restuff the football and re-sew it back together. So that came out great. And on the top is a Patriots helmet. So all in all, it took about 2 months working 3 or 4 hours a day to make this whole bowl. And there's a Lazy Susan in it, and this whole post can be removed from the bottom so that we could store it away and then put it back together again. It came out great. I'm very happy with it.